So hi everyone. Good morning, guys, all of you. Guys, I'm audible. Okay, fine. So yesterday we started correlated subqueries, and in correlated subquery, how to find out your n the highest salary. Okay, no? Right. In the same to same, guys, here by using of correlated subqueries, even though we can find out like syntax to display employee or syntax to display top n highest or lowest salaries. Suppose if you need to find out the top n highest salaries or top n lowest salaries, so even though we can use correlated subquery, okay, so the same formula, but the the logic will be the logic will be changed here, okay. So the syntax is almost the same syntax, but little bit the logic will be changing. So your previously nth highest salary purpose, previously nth highest salary purpose. What is our logic, guys? Here, our logic is n minus 1 is our logic, right? So n minus 1 is our logic. Okay, now, right. So now, same here, what I want to do to finding top n. So it was n greater than is the logic. Okay, the logic is n greater than. And remaining query and remaining execution process and everything will be same. Okay, right. So now let me see, guys, here. Let me see one example on this. So write a query to display. Okay, so top 3 highest salary employee from EMP table. So now I want to get it here, top 3 highest salary employee details. So now let me come out here. So this is our table, the top highest salaries I need to find out. Okay, now we are writing the correlated subquery. Select star from EMP E1, and where here top 3 highest I'm asking, guys. So top 3 highest means your top 3. Okay, I want to find out. So solution is here. So simple solution. The solution was your top 3 means n is equals to 3. Simple. So which highest, that means top 3 or top 5 or top 10 or top 20. So whatever it is. Okay. So now it will be getting now. So n equals to 3. And just n value we need to substitute in our formula n greater than. We need to substitute the formula n greater than. So now n greater than. So now we are passing 3 greater than. Yeah, just only top 3. If top 3 means n equals to 3, that n equals to 3, you have to substitute in your formula n greater than. So n greater than is our logic. Understand my point now? So n greater than and 3 greater than we have to use. That's it. Remaining all are same. And now let me come out here. So EMP and 3 greater than of inner query. Select count of distinct sal from EMP E2. Okay. The logic is E2 dot salary, the year highest salary greater than lowest salary less than. So E1 dot salary. Okay. Now it will be go to find out the top 3 highest salaries here. So top 1 highest salary 5,000. is a top one person, and the top two, 3,000 and 3,000. So there are two people are there, top two. Okay, so 3,000 same salary. So these are the top two position, and top three 2,975. Okay, top three 2,975. So again, same execution process, whatever I was explained yesterday, guys here. So the two aliases and everything will be same. Okay, so whatever I said in the last session, the same explanation, each and every row you need to select, and your outer query value 3. So 3 greater than inner query values, you just compare. Okay, same execution process. Okay, so will not be changed here. Understand now? Right. So in that way, it will be working, guys, here. And we are finding the top 3 highest salary people. In the same to same, suppose I need it. Okay, suppose I need it here. So if I want it lowest salaries, if I want it, then what we want to do lowest salaries. So we don't want to change, because some people they're thinking like this, sir, here lowest means that thinking like that 3 less than. Okay, but yeah, this is your fixed formula, guys. That is your formula, right? That is your formula. So that formula we cannot change it. So lowest means where you want to change in your inner query condition, you have to change. So in okay, so either highest or lowest. So now if I want to find out here lowest, then what we want to do? So everything. So top 3 means top 3. Otherwise top 4. Okay, top 5 I'm asking. Top 5 least salaries. So n equals to 5, and here I have to give less than. So when I'm giving less than here, what it was happening, guys, here? Let me see. To executing this one, the top 5 least salaries observed. Okay, so less than I was given. So least salary, top 5. So top 1 least salary, top 2 least salary, top 3 least salary, sorry, top 3 least salary, top 4 least salary, and top 5 least salary. Okay, na? And top 5 least salary. So these are what now? So total we have here top 5 least salaries we are finding. So again, least salaries also same kind of the comparison, same kind of comparison. But here I was taken greater than symbol, right? Here I was taken greater than symbol. So you just made it a less than. You just made it here what? Less than symbol. That's it. The remaining process will be against it. Okay, right. So this is okay. Top 5 least salaries we find out. So like this correlated subquery through, you can find out like a top n highest salaries also. Okay. And finally, one note point I will give it, guys. This point should be remembered. to find out nth highest or lowest salary. So your formula is n minus 1. Okay, na? In the same pattern to display top n. So highest or lowest salaries. Okay. So now I will take here n greater than. Okay, now. So these are the two conditions that here it should be remembered. Like so now. Okay, these are the two conditions we should find out. And the next one is called as the exist operator. That's here. The next one is exist operator. So basically, exist operator so how this operator will be work and use it. Okay, let me see, guys, here. Exist operator is a special operator which is used in correlated subquery only. Okay, na? So This one is one important point here. This operator specially we are using in correlated subqueries. Okay, na? And the purpose of this operator is what now? Okay, what purpose we need to use this one means this operator is used to check whether to check whether 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 a row or whether rows or exists exists in a table or not. Okay, na? So existing operator, what it was telling, it was going to be checking whether your required row or rows are existing in a table or not. Are existing in a table or not. Suppose if row or rows are exist in a table, okay, exists in a table, okay, then it was written true. Then it was written true. When it written true, when your row or rows are existing in a table, written true. Okay, otherwise it returns what now? False. Otherwise it returns false. Okay, na? So this is the exist operator. So what we can say the purpose of exist operator, and this operator we are going to be using in correlated subqueries only, and other than correlated subqueries we can't use in any other subquery. Okay, and second one is checking purpose, the row is there or not there. So the kind of the verification and checking purpose we are using exist operator. Suppose your row was there in the table, it's returning true. If your row is not there in the table, then it's returning false. Okay, fine. And what is the syntax of this means? So where you want to take exist of your select query are you writing? Okay, now right. So let me see one example on this guys here. So what is our example of this? Okay, now right. So right click query to display. Department details. In which department employees are working. Okay, na? In which department employees are working. So those departments details I want it now. Those department details I want it now. Okay, na? Fine. So let me see guys here. The basic the thing is what now? I need to display department details. That is my first thing. Okay, now, but all departments I don't want to display. Okay, I don't want to display all departments. I want to display departments in which departments employees are working. In which department employees are working. So that we wanted, right? That we wanted. So now let me see how it was happening here. First of all, come to your table. For example, if I want to call EMP table, so can you tell me guys here, in this EMP table, employee related information only we have it here. Okay, only employee related information. But is there any departments related information? Is there like department details are there in this? No, we don't have it any department details. And we just department number is there, only this one column is there, but department name, department locations, so that kind of information is not there here. But my requirement is what now guys here? I don't want to display any employee. I want to display department details. Okay, but in my table, okay, in my EMP table, here employee related table this is. Okay, my point understanding now? This table is related to employee. not a department. Employee, but not a, okay, what now? Department. So that means department details is nothing. So I have to go another table. That is called a department. So departments details I have it here. Okay, na? So already department table, although we have it, and in this department table we have a department number, name, and location. Carefully observe. So you have two table operations. Okay, na? Right. So one table is a department table. So yeah, but when I'm calling select a star from department, all departments are coming out. That means in this table. So whatever the department details we stored, the complete details are, we got it up. Okay, na? So this is okay. But the requirement is not this. I want to display department details in which department employees are working. Okay, na? Employees are working. So that means compulsory, these two tables I need to compare here. Okay, the two tables I have to check. So DEPT table data, I have to check with the EMP table. So then EMP table, these are the 14 employees are there now. So these 14 employees are working in which department. So that first I need to find out. And after that, I want to display those details. But how we can go to find out, sir? Means here one common column is there. Can we find out here? So in DEPT table, we have department, and this column will be comparing with the okay na, department number column. Will be comparing with the department number column. So your 10th department is there. What is the 10th department here? Accounting. So 10th department, 10, the accounting department number 10. So this is there or not there, you can check. This 10th department existing, yes. So one time existing, two times existing, so three times existing. So that means what you understand? In accounting department, employees are working. So I want to display. Next, research. Research is a 20th department. Yes, 20th department also, so many employees are there, right? So that means research is also displayed. Next department number is 30. So that 30 is also there in this. So many employees are working in 30. So that means sales also displayed. And the next one is what we call the operational department. So can you tell me guys here operational department 40, but here 40 is there. Here 40 is there in my EMP table. No, we don't have it 40. So that means in operational department, employees are working. No employees working. So that means finally the two table comparison. Okay, in which departments employees are working? It means that accounting department, research department, and sales department. So in these three departments only employees are working, but there is a no employee working in 40th department. Understand now? Now this is what it was happening, guys. So that means finally my requirement is what? Accounting, research, sales. So then how to write here? Okay, my subquery means what I need to display? Department details. So select start from DPTD. And here I'm using exist operator and inner query. Inner query is what now? Inner query EMP table. See, outer query DPT table because I have to display department details. Inner query is what now? EMP table. But EMP table, I don't want to compare these all columns here, right? I'm comparing only department number column. So now I have to take DPT number from EMP and now internal condition. So what is the condition? E dot DEPT number is equals to B dot DEPT number. Okay, na? So here two table we are going to be using and writing your query, subquery. Now we can see So here first what I'm saying here, correlated subquery, first your outer query is executed. Okay, first outer query is executed, guys. So whatever the outer query I was written here, this query first executing, and this query result, for example, this query result is what now? Select star from DEPT. Star means what now? All. Now all values are coming out. 10, 20, so 30 and 40. So this is outer query result. This is outer query because outer query first executed, right? So outer query result. And next one is what now? Inner query. Inner query, what it was telling, guys? Select this DEPT number from EMPE where this is the condition. So in between exit operator, and inner query result. Inner query I was given here equality condition. Carefully observe. So equality condition means department number column, EMP department number column, matching data. What is the matching data? 10, 20, and 30. So these are the matching data, right? So that means this is your inner query result. So this is our inner query result. Okay, now? Now compare. 10 exist in your outer query. Yes, exist. So that means condition true. Condition true. 20 exist in your outer query result. Yes, this is also true. Existing now? Yes. 30 exists in your outer query result. Okay, this is also true. So 10, 20, 30 comparison is over. So my inner query, what are the values are written? Okay. What are the values are written by inner query? Those values are, I checked out with my outer query table. Okay, with my outer query result. So whether it is there or not there, we are checking now. So 10 is there, 20 is there, 30 was also there. 10, 20, 30. So now whatever it was there, that exist operator returns true. If your value is existing, it returns true. If not existing, there is no return value. So finally, 10, 20, 30 is my, and let me see. So we just go to execute now. Say yes. So in 10th department, employees are working. 20th department, employees are working. And 30th department, employees are working. Okay, now? So this is exist operator, just checking your required value was there or not there. Okay, in your query, in your outer query result. Okay? This is what. In the same pattern, guys, here, same pattern, exist operator, in the same pattern, exist operator, even though, suppose my question is, in negative operation, write a query to display department details, in which department employees are, okay, employees are not working. So in which department employees are not working. So not working means what now? Yes, simply we have to give a not exist. Simply we want to give a not exist. Okay, now? Right. So it is a negative operation. So now let me come back to select this all the things and come to check out here. Yes. So not, and in which department employees are not working, guys, here? Department number 40. So department number 40, there is no employee is working. There is no employee is working. So this is called as a positive and negative operations of exist operator. Okay, now fine. So these are correlated and non-correlated subqueries we discussed, guys, here. Okay, but along with correlated, non-correlated, in the category of a non-correlated, one more subquery was introducing. Okay, that is the latest subquery. So the subquery is called as what now? Scalar. Scalar subquery. Scalar subquery. Okay, this is one of the new and latest subquery here. The scalar subquery. So what is scalar subquery? And the purpose of scalar subquery, what it is. Okay, let me see. Simply, I will explain here. Here, scalar is nothing but, guys, here. Scalar is nothing but column. Scalar is nothing but a single column. So every column in a table is called as a one scalar. Okay, every column in a table is called as a scalar, and scalar is nothing but single column. Okay, every single column is called as a scalar. So that a scalar subquery, how we can define means, how we can define means, subqueries, that means I'm going to write in subqueries, otherwise we are writing, we use subqueries in place of columns in select statement, in place of columns in select statement. Okay, is called as scalar. It's called as scalar subquery. So what it means, sir? We use subqueries in place of columns in select statement. In place of columns in select statement. Okay, now. So what it means? For example, here observe. Syntax I will give it, guys, here. So when we go for syntax, it was simply understand. So now generally your select query syntax is what now? Select star from table name. Yes or no? This is a general select query request. So this is general. Okay, now this is a general query request and select query. So guys, tell me, a star is nothing but, can I say all columns now? Star is nothing but all columns now? Yes, definitely. So that means, can I go to write, for example, in place of star, can I write like this, column 1, comma, column number 2, comma, column number 3, and so on from table name. So that means these both are same, guys. These both are same. Both are same. Yes, definitely. The both are same because star is nothing but columns. So now this is select query. Okay, but this is select query. So either you can write your columns directly, you can write it. Otherwise, you can write star also. So star, if you want to use the star, or if you want to use columns, that's your wish. Okay, star is also not mandatory, na? That is my wish. Okay, if I don't want it star, then I can use a columns. I don't want it columns, then I can use a star. So that's both are user wish. Okay, now. So now here the point is what now? This is actually the meaning of a select query. So scalar subquery is nothing but what? Your concept is scalar, not a syntax. This one here. Okay, so don't think this one. This is just a formula I'm explaining. Okay, now my concept is scalar subquery, right? So now this is select a statement. So either you can write a star, you can write a column. So that's your choice. Okay, anyone as per your requirement, you can write it. So sometimes I want to display only one column. At the time, are you using star? Come on, guys. If you want to display only one column, then are you using star? No, na. That is what my point. Understand first. Yeah, that is what I'm telling you. Every time we can't give a star, na. Every time we can't give a star. So suppose I wanted two columns only, I want to display. When I want to display two columns means, are you using star? No. Are you writing your column names? Okay, star when we want it. If I wanted entire table, if I wanted, then I can use a star. But star is not a mandatory to use every time, right? Yes. So that is the point. So this is actually the select query statement. So star means all columns. Okay, now that is the meaning of star. We already know. But here what I said, scalar is nothing but what I said. It's a column. Scalar is nothing but what it is, column. So now whatever the columns are there here, in every column position, either two columns are, one column are, or three columns are, or 10 columns are, it's none of the matter. But in place of column name, now I need to write a subqueries. Okay, for example, in column 1 position, I'm writing subquery 1. In column 2 position, I'm writing subquery 2. In column 3 position, I'm writing subquery number 3, and so on. So now this is called as a what now? Scalar subquery syntax. So that means finally the syntax of scalar subquery, what it was, understand? In place of column names, we are writing again subquery. So in place of columns, we are writing again subqueries. So with the help of form class, so this is called as a scalar subqueries we called. This is called as a scalar subqueries we called. Okay, now one small example, let me see, you will be understand now. What is the example here? For example, let me find out. So this is our table, okay, EMP table, and this is our DEPT table. Okay, so first of all, I need to pass here the count of star, okay, from EMP. So EMP count of star, how many here? 14 rows. And if I want to write, so count of star from DEPT table is 4 rows. So what I'm doing here, suppose if I'm writing here, select, okay, select, and now I'm writing my first subquery in place of column position. So EMP, okay, comma. So otherwise you have to say some alias name. It's called alias name is employee total, comma. And the next one is called as a one more, select count of star from DEPT, and this is I will take a DEPT total. Okay, and from which table? EMP table. From EMP, not from which table? Dual table. Because here already these are the so-and-so tables we are going to be calculating the count of rows. So here this is dummy table, already you know the dual table. So with the help of this dual table, then we are writing like this. So in place of column name, here scalar subquery. This is called a scalar subquery. This is called a scalar subquery. Scalar is nothing but column. Subquery I return. In place of column, I return subquery. So like EMP total and department total, we got it. The combination of these two table count will be find out. So this is general, is a normal query for you. Okay. Basically, scalar subqueries. Okay, when you want to use it, for example, you want to display the rows into columns. If you want to, that means as of now, columns only we display. But I want to convert rows. I want to convert as a column. rows I want to convert as a columns. So whenever you want to convert rows as a columns, so there scalar subquery also we can go to use it. There scalar subquery also we can use it. Okay, now see what is that. For example, select the star from EMP is our table. Okay, fine. So actually EMP number, name, job, MGR, hire date, salary, commission, department number. These are actually our columns and column names. And below the remaining whatever it was there, these are all are called as a rows data, other data or rows. So like 10th row, 20th row, 30th row, 20th row, 30th row, 10, 20. So these are all are what, sir? Means, sir, these are all are called as a rows. So now what I'm doing here, the rows information, that means rows will be converting as a column. The row data I will converting as a column. Okay. So how it is, let me see. Now I'm writing. Select sum of salary from EMP. So where DEPT number is equals to 10. Where DEPT number is equals to 10. Okay, now. So this will I'm showing as a what column. So that's why I'm taking here 10. So now this 10 actually row data. Department number 10 actually row data. But that I'm going to showing as a or displaying as a column wise data. Showing as a or displaying as a column wise data. So that is what we can go to do it now. That is what we can go to do it now. So I just make it this come. Second requirement is what now? Here observe. Of again I'm writing select sum of salary from EMP where DEPT number is equals to 20. So this is I will show as a column 20th column. Actually 20 is what? Row data. But I'm showing as what now? Column. Okay, na? Right, comma. Next one is what now? Select sum of sal from EMP where DEPT number is equals to 30. So the 30 I will show as a column wise data. So 30. A double quotes I was taking. Why, sir, are you taking double quote means? I'm displaying as a column. I'm displaying as a column. Okay, now I'm displaying as a column. So it was converting and showing my row data as a column wise data. So headings, I'm going to making headings here, just like column headings. So that is the reason I was taking here double quotes. Okay, now right. Okay, fine. Now the 30 was taken out, and as usual from dual. As usual from dual. And now let me execute this one. Yes. Now we can see. So my scalar subquery result where department number 10 is equals to 8750. But whatever the 10th department is there, actually the 10th department is what? It's a row data. It's actually 10th department is a row data. So the row data I was showing as a column. Row data I was showing as a column. So row data, okay, sum of salary of 10th row data, then I'm showing as a column wise. In the same to same 20th department row data, I'm showing as a column wise. And 30th row data, I'm showing as a column wise. So 10, 20, 30, these are what, sir? 10, 20, 30, these are the department numbers, and these are the row data. These are not a columns now. My columns are these. These are my column names, right? So these are my column names. Okay, now these are my column names. but this is not a column, right? So these are my column names, but 10, 20, 30, these are not a columns. These are what now? Rows here. So that row, 10th row, I'm showing as a column wise. 20th row, I'm showing as a column wise. 30th row, I'm showing as a column wise. Okay. So this is, okay, the scalar subquery, okay, information. And suppose when we want to show your row information as a column wise, if you want to show, then there it will be useful for us. Okay. So this is scalar subquery, is one of the subquery in our subquery concept, and this was, okay, special subquery, it will be treated by people, so that's why separately I explained to you. Okay, now, right? So these are what we called as, guys, here your subquery topics, and whatever the subqueries we have it here. So all subqueries we go to discuss. Okay, now fine. And the next one is, the next topic is, okay, a very important topic. The next one is also, it is also, okay, very important topic in our database, that is called as a database security. Database security. Okay. So now we are learning. Now we are going to discussing in early classes. Okay, databases are not only for storing. Databases also provided security for our information. Yes or no? So this kind of everybody saying that why are you using database? So we are telling that, so database we are using for security purpose. Okay, database we are using for security purpose. So everyone, even though the people knows or doesn't know, but why we are using database means, so what they will say, storing and also security. So these are the two major factors, guys. Storing and security is the major factors. So now let me discuss, okay, how the databases are providing security for our data. How the databases are providing security for our data. Okay, na? So that is, we will see it now. And let me observe. Basically, in all databases, guys, here, in all databases are supporting the following types of security mechanisms. Two types of security mechanism. Security mechanisms. What are those? Okay, what are those things? First one we called as here. First one we called as a authentication is the first mechanism for providing security. Second one is called as a authorization. So authentication and authorization, these are the major what we can say mechanisms when it will be provide security. Okay, na? One is authentication and one is authorization. Okay, so first of all, we should know about what is authentication and what is authorization. First, we should know it. Okay, na? Let me see. I will explain to you. So authentication is nothing but, guys, here. What is the mean by authentication? Is nothing but authentication is nothing but to verify user credentials. To verify user credentials. So what does it mean by credentials? Means your username and password. Your username and password. Okay, na? So can you remember every time? Can you remember and can you observe when I go to open my Oracle database for every day when I open my Oracle database? So I was using username and password. Yes or no? Every time we are using username and password now, right? So to verify user credentials, that means before login into a system or a server. Okay, so before login into, okay, to verify user credentials, when it is before either login or else connect to Oracle database. So that every time when we want to log in into our system or else log in into our database or system, so first of all, what it will go to do, first we are going to be verified user credentials. So when a user is having user credentials and that user is called as a authentication user required. Okay, so this is called a first level security. This is called what now? First level security. So if we want to log in into Oracle database or connect to Oracle database, user must and should be have a username and password. Then only you will be connecting or logging into your computer or logging into your database. Otherwise, we cannot. So here, but these username and password, who will be created, guys? Here, so created by only one person, database administrator only. So DBA person, that means database administrator only. He's the person, he will be created user credentials, okay, in our database. So how he was created, we all of you know the syntax. I think in early classes, introduction classes, some information I passed. Okay, now? So create user and we are passing username identified by and here password. So this is our syntax, guys. So with the help of this syntax, the administrator will create a new user and passwords. Okay, now? So who will create a username and password means DBA person will be created, and he is the only person. He will create new users and passwords. Remember, other than DBA person, there is no other person cannot be created. Okay, right. So that is what, suppose we created, okay sir, we created create username A, something I taken here, identified by password 123 something. Okay, so user name is A and identified by password 123. Okay, fine. So this, after creating this user and user password by administrator, later he will give it some connectivity permission, granting permissions are giving. Okay, now fine. So this is authentication we called. This is authentication we call. That means authentication is nothing but the user is having user credentials or not, and those credentials are valid or not. So if it is valid, then that is a valid user, and that means that is an authentication person. If it is not valid, so he is not an authentication person. And through this user credential, just for login purpose only we are using. So username and password, we are just for connectivity purpose, login purpose only, it will be supporting us. Okay, fine. So administrator is giving connectivity, everything. So we are connecting like that. So a user successfully connected. But once he was connecting to database, what is the next requirement? You need to do some operations, right? So I have a username and I have a password, and administrator is given connectivity permission. So successfully I'm connecting to my database. Successfully I'm logging into database. Okay. But after login into database, what is your next requirement? What is your next requirement? To do some operations. But whenever you want to perform operations, it's not like that I can directly perform operations, right? If I want to do operations over database, again, that user, which permission is required, that user means that user is required authorization permissions. Authorization permissions is required. So that's why authorization, what is authorization means? Authorization, okay, is nothing but to give permissions, to give permissions to users to perform operations, over database. Okay, now. So here it's very important is what now once you have a username and password, once you have a connectivity permission, it's not like that, okay, I'm connecting my Oracle database, I can do anything means nothing problem. So nothing possible, that is. So I can do anything means nothing possible, because you just have a permission of authentication. Authentication means only for just connectivity. Just a connectivity permission is called authentication. Just login permission is called authentication. Other than connectivity or login, you can't do any kind of operations. Why, sir? Why we can't do operations means we don't have a authorization permissions. So when I can do operations means again database administrator is giving authorization permissions to users, then only users can perform operations over database, like a creating table, insert, update, delete, select. So what are the so many operations are there that I will show you one by one, you can understand. Okay, now, but these authorization permissions also, who will be given, sir, means, yes, here also the one and only one person being by database administrator only. So actually this concept is completely belongs to DBA person, not a developer. So this concept completely implemented by administrator, DBA, database administrator concept, but it is not developed by developers. Database developers, you can't do this work. This work done by DBA person, but still we want to know how, what is what. Okay, so database developer is not doing anything here. Okay, now, but they have to just knowing purpose how administrators are giving security and creating users permissions, how we are going to be check out. Okay, so for that purpose we are going to be checking out, but this work is done by administrator in real-time company, not a database programmer, not a database developers, not a database testers, not a database architects. Okay, only DBA persons will do this work, and those people only, the people they can use this one. Okay, now, but developers, they don't have to touch in this area. Security related things are handled by database administrators only, but not database developers. Okay, but still we are learning what is what we are learning. Okay, right. So giving by administrator, but administrator, how he was giving, sir? How he was giving means, here database administrators are giving permissions to user by the help of one of the language is there. That language is called as a data control language commands. That is called a DCL. So database administrator, how he will be providing authorization permissions. How he will be providing authorization permissions means with the help of DCL language commands. So did you remember your SQL is having total 5 languages? So DDL commands we discuss, DML commands we discuss, DRL command we discuss, TCL language commands we discuss, and the final language is what now? DCL, data controlling language. So with the help of this language commands, administrators are granting permissions to user. So that's why in this we have a 2 commands are there. First command is called as a grant. Second one is called as a revoke. So here, what is grant and what is revoke? That's what you understand. DCL language commands are used by administrator, but not a developers. Yes or no? My point understand na? Developers are using only DDL commands, DML commands, DRL commands, TCL commands. These are the 4 languages commands was used by developers. That means a database developer or Java developers, .NET developers, whatever it is. But DCL language commands, sir, who will be handling, sir? Who will be using, sir? Means, sir, that was only the person administrators are using. Other than administrators,